On April 3rd, 2020, my mom opened her email and I shouted with excitement. I quickly bolted out of my bedroom and ran into the living room to see what all the commotion was about. "Is everything all right, Mom?" I asked. Before my question even left my lips, my mom turned her computer screen towards me. I began to read a letter sent to her from Shady Side Academy. It read, "Dear Arya, on behalf of Shady Side Academy, it gives me great pleasure to accept you as a 7-day boarding student in the Form 5 for the 2020-2021 school year. My name is Arya Dominique, and this is my senior sage." Just a few months before receiving this letter, I never would have thought I would be applying to boarding school, let alone being excited about leaving. After reading the first line of this letter, I looked at my mom, who had an already incredibly big smile plastered on her face. She embraced me in a hug and then said, "We must go tell your father." I sprinted outside, barefoot and in shock of the news I had just received. My dad was in the middle of washing his car when I screamed to get his attention. "Dad, I got into Shady Side." My father did not stop washing his car. He proceeded to rinse the soap off with the hose and looked at me and replied, "Honey, I knew you were going to get in, but still, congratulations." After sharing a few laughs with my dad, my dog came out of nowhere and jumped on me. This 100-pound German Shepherd tackled me to the ground and I laughed uncontrollably. She could tell how excited everyone was and wanted to be part of the celebration. Now that I am here at Shady Side, I often think back and reflect on the moment that I found out I got in. The truth is, even though everyone was excited for me to go to boarding school, I did not want to leave my family. When I was 14, my family moved from New Jersey to the small town of Florence, South Carolina. I ended up going to a very small private school in the town next over in Darlington, South Carolina. Not knowing anyone, my older sister and I clung to each other for support because of how shy we were. I eventually tried to make friends and be social. However, the students there had no intention in making new friends. They all had known each other since they were 3 years old and newcomers were shunned away. I gave up on making new friends and accepted my lonely fate. For almost my entire life, playing ice hockey was a way for me to de-stress and escape reality. When times got tough, I would go to the rink just a few minutes down the road and just start skating. However, when I lived in South Carolina, the closest rink was more than 2 hours away. Now I was having a hard time adjusting to my new school in South Carolina, and I had lost my typical way of coping. One night, my dad approached me while I was eating dinner and sat down next to me. He said, "Arya, sweetie, I want to talk to you about something." As every kid can understand, when my dad said this to me, my heart nearly dropped. I stopped eating and gave my dad my full attention. "Yes, Dad," I responded. "I know you are having a hard time adjusting to South Carolina," he uttered, "especially with you not being able to play high-level hockey like you are used to. I think it is in your best interest to go to boarding school." I sat there in disbelief of what my dad had just said. "I can't leave my family," I thought to myself. "No, Dad," I replied. "I don't want to be away from our family. We just moved here, and I don't want to move again, especially not by myself." My dad stared at me in confusion and then stated, "Okay, but I really think you should take some time and think about this. If you really want to reach your full potential and be a great hockey player, then I think boarding school is the answer." I thought about my father's idea for a while. I pondered about it during school, before I went to bed, and when I was able to play hockey, but I still couldn't see leaving my family. It wasn't until one day when I was playing knee hockey with my little brother and he asked, "Arya, I know Dad asked you if you want to go to boarding school, and I was just wondering why you said no." I looked at him and answered, "I don't know, VJ. I don't want to leave our family. I will miss you a lot." My little brother then quickly responded with, "Arya, first of all, I know that you are lying because you are not going to miss me. Second, I know you love playing hockey, and if you go to boarding school, you will get to play every day. So what's really keeping you from going?" I stared at my younger brother for a while, ashamed of what I was about to say. "VJ, I'm actually just really scared." After I had told him the truth, while I was hiding my face from embarrassment, my little brother shot the knee hockey ball at my head. "Hey," I yelled at him. "Sorry," he responded. "Someone needed to hit you in the head to tell you that you cannot be scared of taking risks." I sat there in shock of what my brother had just said to me. This 11-year-old kid was giving me the best life advice I had ever received. "Okay then," I responded. I immediately ran down the stairs and saw my mom sitting at her desk. I was shaking with excitement and fear, and the words just came flying out. "Mom, I want to go to boarding school to play hockey." Deciding to come to Shady Side has not only helped me further develop my skills as a hockey player, it has pushed me to become a better student and, most importantly, a more fearless and confident individual. When I first came to Shady Side, yes, I had a hard time putting myself out there and making new friends. However, this time, I did not give up. I pushed away the fear and doubt and forced myself to talk to as many people as possible and carry myself with confidence. Unlike at my school in South Carolina, the people at Shady Side Academy were welcoming and kind. You might take this for granted if you have been here for a long time, but Shady Side is welcoming, open, and warm, and every gesture you make goes a long way. Here at Shady Side, I have made friends that I hope to keep for the rest of my life. Being a part of the Shady Side community has given me the opportunity to venture out into the world and take risks, to never be afraid of stepping outside my comfort zone or pushing beyond my limits. If I had never taken the risk of going to boarding school and leaving my family, then I would not be the person I am today. By not giving in to fear, I was able to expose myself to the endless possibilities boarding school has offered me. I came from a town in South Carolina where I did not have any real friends to now getting to have a sleepover in the dorms every night with my closest friends. I did not know it back then, but the impact going to boarding school would have on me would change my life forever. In the end, great things can happen when we overcome our fears and take risks. Thank you.